Welcome back, family, to Northside LDN Caramba. And today we've got more news surrounding Arsenal in the transfer window. And let's get just straight into it. There's an article today about Arsenal submitting an offer for Nico Williams. It doesn't say how much the offer is. We're going to get into that and more, and some other players, alternative players apparently were linked to, other than the two main strikers that we're looking at, Sesko and and Gyökeres. That's how interested I am. I forgot. Yeah, I'm saying Sesko and Gyökeres. I'm so tired of this. Before we get into all of that, got my guy Devante. Make sure you're subbing to Devante. The link is in the title. Devante, what are you saying, bro? You good?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Just enjoying the off season, just a break from football. I even checking the news as much. The only news I've seen, ladies, is the civil war between Gyökeres and Sesko. You got the Arteta fans. I'm like, oh, we want Sesko, and then the Arsenal fans, they want Gyökeres. So now there's a whole civil war going on about who should be coming as a striker for Arsenal. So that's the only thing I've seen for so far. But yeah. That's the only thing I'm following for now, man.
I hear it. I mean, let's get straight into it. Nico Williams. He's got a release clause of 60 million euros, which is about 50 million pounds. And apparently we've submitted an offer. What's your thoughts on it? You believe it? Don't believe it? How are you feeling about it?
I don't believe it. I think it's just to keep the fans at ease because there's still no signings made, to be honest. I've seen City, Liverpool, Brentford do more action in this transfer window than Arsenal. Arsenal is still doing the same old, keep on pushing it till like near the end of the transfer window and make some panic signings. Because, like I said just a minute ago, I've only seen the Sesko and Gyökeres talks. That's the only thing I've seen. And as far as Nico Williams is concerned, I've seen more news about him going to Barcelona rather than Arsenal. So to me, it's just another story to keep the fans at ease, to keep the fan base, to keep their hopes alive of getting Nico Williams and all that stuff. I don't think it's coming. I think it's just a rumor. I don't even know how much they bid for him. So we'll see where it goes. But if you ask me, I 100% believe he's going to go to Barca. I 100% believe he's going to go there.
I hear that. Talking about Barca, the man himself, big up to Omar every single time. News today dropping, if you haven't heard it, Nico Williams to Arsenal. Well, we submitted a bid, apparently. They have not said how much the bid is. But we've just, before today, all the links were to Barcelona and Bayern, mainly Barcelona. What's your thoughts as a Barcelona fan, bro? What's your thoughts on this?
First of all, thanks for having me. Hopefully it's not too noisy where I am right now. Big up to every single one of you guys. Big up to the chat. Big up to everybody. Listen, I was actually talking about this on Friday on my channel. Right? I was doing the Barcelona News Roundup, talking about it. Here's the thing. On Friday, his agent was actually in Barcelona, all right? And he made it very clear to the club, to the president, to Deco, to everybody, that Nico Williams' first option is Barcelona. He's really wants the move, right? He's willing to do anything. He's willing to take a pay cut. He's willing to even wait for the registration because we know, Barcelona's registration is very slow. He's willing to go through all of that because he wants to get the move to Barcelona, right? Because he wants to remain in Spain. And also, I think it's because maybe he feels that at Barcelona, the Flick system, if Flick can bring the best out of him, right? We know Bayern Munich were also after him. We saw him linked last week. And I also heard that, you guys were submitting a bid. However, this is the thing. It's going to be very interesting because something I heard this morning was apparently he's told his agent it's either he's going to stay with Athletic Bilbao, who, by the way, I've also offered him a new contract, which is going to make him the highest paid player in Bilbao history. You understand what I mean, right? So it's either he stays or he joins Barcelona. So that's what basically all the sports news in Spain are saying right now, right? So it's going to be very interesting. I'm going to be keeping my eye on this because, you guys submitting this bid. I'd like to see what happens with that. But from what I know, it seems that the player, his mind is set in joining Barca. But then again, when he talks, because right now, Deco is moving fraudulent. He's moving hella fraudulent right now, right? Here we have a player in Nico who has made it very clear he wants to join us. And Deco is being absolutely stubborn and hard-headed, trying to insist on bringing in Diaz, who.
Say that again. You cut out, bro. Say that again.
Yeah, someone just called me. As always, people seem to call me whenever.
They said it's another Omar bomber, isn't it? They said, yo, Romano's like, yo, cut the check, man. You can't be dropping the bombers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, but yeah, that's the point I was just trying to make was that, well, Luis Diaz is the one that the club are making their primary target. The problem is Liverpool won 80 million, and they're not refusing to move. And the problem is now we want to only pay 60. So now I'm looking at it thinking, listen, we can't keep dilly-dallying in the transfer window because we have other positions we have to deal with. So let's go out there and go and spend the money and bring in Nico Williams, whom we know is going to be a quick move, rather than sitting here dilly-dallying and not knowing whether this player is going to come in or not come in. Not good enough. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on this for sure.
I mean, as we're talking about Barcelona, before we go back to Arsenal, who would you prefer? Luis
Nico
Diaz
Williams.
Or Nico Williams? Nico Williams.
Yeah. Because one, I think they're the same similar profile, and secondly, I think that if you look at age-wise, I think Nico Williams has more time, right, to adapt to the system. He's 22 years old, right? And like I said, they're very similar profiles between Nico and Luis Diaz for me. And Luis Diaz is 28, right? So spending 80 million on a 28-year-old, I'm sorry, man, I'm not spending that on a 28-year-old. Right? At least give me a 22-year-old who I know is going to learn and adapt to the system, right? And we've seen Nico Williams for Spain. Like, you know this, Northside. We saw him in the Euros. That partnership with Yamal in the wings, right? We saw it in the Nations League against France, right? These guys, he clearly has a special chemistry with the Barca players in the Spanish national team. So I think it fits well. At the end of the day, I feel like he will adapt to the Barca system relatively quick. Right? So for me, Nico Williams is.
Oh, is that me?
No. He's
Or did he froze?
Yeah, he froze.
I was thinking maybe it's me.
Sorry. Sorry.
No,
so did you hear what I said? Basically, am I good? Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically what I was saying was I would take Nico Williams because stylistically, I think he would adapt to the system quicker. And he's got a great chemistry with the Barcelona Spanish players. Like, you've seen the partnership we have. It's absolutely. Bring him in. And also, he's going to be cheaper. He's younger and cheaper. So, yeah, give me Nico Williams every time.
No, I hear it, man. I hear it. I don't really get why we don't know how much the bid was. Because we bidded 55 million or something it was just the other day. So we got the release clause for Nico Williams. So if we really were interested, why wouldn't we just put the money down? Then we get rejected by Gyökeres by putting 55 million. So we already know the money's there. But if they're willing to put 55 million for Gyökeres, I know they play in different positions and they're different profiles. But at the same time, if you're serious about the player, you've got the release clause money there. We've got the release clause money for Gyökeres. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't believe it. We've been chasing this guy for how long? If we were really serious about getting him over the line, we'd be moving the way we should be moving for Gyökeres. Neither player are we moving serious. The money's there. We don't need to sell anyone to get these players in. You know what I mean? So I just don't think we're in for any of these lots seriously. Like, I don't know. I don't know what this club's doing. I think they're just holding up for Sesko. I don't really get the whole strategy. I really don't. Now, all the targets that the club want so far that we know, whether it's Gyökeres or Sesko or Nico Williams, we've got the money to play their release clauses. All of them. All of them. So what's the holdup? The holdup is, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Berta and Arteta are at odds. I don't get what it is. I really don't get what it is. And I don't understand. And this goes back to the Cronkies, because why have we got a new sporting director if we are not moving in a different way and if we can't get it sorted out as to who's our targets? Surely you bring in a sporting director and allow him to do his job. We just look all over the place. Our bids aren't serious. We're getting rejected again. Nothing different there with Arsenal. And we seem to try and put in a bid that's not enough to get Gyökeres over the line, but still keeping Sesko in the conversation. We're going for Nico Williams, but we're not playing a release clause, which is 50 million, which is not something that will break the bank. Let's just keep it real. It won't break the bank. But then, even if we are in for him, we're undervaluing him as well. I just don't get it. I don't personally want Nico Williams, but what I want is this club, yeah, to make up their mind and move like they actually have some intent in this window. And I keep seeing this club just being so timid and not working out what they want to do. And the thing that I said about Gyökeres is happening with Nico Williams. We've been linked with Nico Williams for how long? And I kept saying to people, oh, penny pinching, oh, but we want to get a good deal. Well, guess what? Arsenal have been dragging their feet for months now over this Nico Williams deal. Barca's now in the race. Bayern Munich are now in the race. So you wanted to go cheap, but guess what? Are you ready for a bidding war? Because the last time we was in a bidding war for a player against Barcelona, Rafinha ended up going to Barcelona. We don't maneuver well in bidding wars. Do not get gassed about Declan Rice, because that is the anomaly, not the rule. More times than not, we don't win bidding wars. So if the club actually, what's going to spike up the players' valuation faster? You paying a release clause or getting into a bidding war? Because I would argue a bidding war. If the opposition are saying, yo, we want to put the money down, then all of a sudden the price is getting hiked up. Instead of you just getting the business done or close enough to the valuation, let's say it's a 70 million release clause. Say, okay, we'll pay 60, 65 plus the add-ons based on performances, blah, 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 blah. Then I can kind of hear it as a first bid. Then I can kind of hear it. But what do? We get an evaluation that's 20 million less, 25 million less. And this is what we do. We drag our feet and then we get surprised that we get priced out of moves, or we end up getting into situations where the player's saying, why the fuck am I going to Arsenal instead of going Barca? Why? This is a club that still wins stuff, even £1 billion in debt. You man spend $1 billion and you're still waiting on a flipping of a FA Cup. That's what you man are doing. Yeah. So this is what we do. We always allow the players to be in a position of control.
So can I just say this quickly? I think that you guys definitely do need an improvement on that wing, right? And because let's be honest, Martinelli, Trossard, all these guys, they're not good enough, right? You guys need someone who can kind of do a job in that left wing, like Saka. Now, I'm not saying Nico Williams is a top class winger, but he's gonna be better than all the left wingers we've got. You understand what I mean, right? So I would say in a way, it's smart that your club have looked at that position on the left and said, okay, we're over the line on Saka, right? We need somebody who can do as much of a job in the other way. You understand what I mean, right? And Gyökeres, like you mentioned, it's a no-brainer. Like this is like he's now rejected United to join Arsenal. If anything, this should be the time you guys should be striking for this one, right? So for me, you guys there has to be a state of intent. Liverpool made their intention clear when they spent 150 million on Florian Wirtz. That is a statement sign. That is them saying basically, oh, we've just won the league, trust me, bro. We are not stopping, bro. We're coming back next season much stronger than we were this season, right? You've seen what City have done, bringing in Chelsea, Liners, and Nordy, all these guys. That is a statement. You know how Arsenal can make a statement? All right, no problem. But the point is, if Arsenal want to be serious, they need to put the money down. Go put the money down for Gyökeres. And whatever if it's 80 million, fine. Because you need a striker. You need a 20-goal a season striker. It's not one of these things where you have a striker in your team and have to spend over 100 and something million for another striker. No, you don't have a striker in the team. There's no 20-goal a season striker in the team. So whatever money you put down for a striker of that level, everyone is going to get it. They're going to, well, listen, they need a striker. So we see why they're spending 80 million on a Gyökeres. And like you mentioned, Nico Williams has a release clause. If what you're saying is true and the 50 million or whatever it is, yeah, I know. But if you spend like the 55 to 60 million that you guys are saying for Nico Williams, I think Nico Williams' release clause, if I'm not mistaken, is 55 million or 59 million. That's his buyout. That's his buyout clause, right? So you don't even have to talk to the club. You can just go in, take it to the list club, and now you just have to talk to the player and the date. That's it. Quick, right? That is a quick process. Look at this today, right? Today, apparently today is when we're supposed to sign Joan Garcia. We didn't even talk to Espanyol because we knew Espanyol are rivals, and they might not. And if we negotiate with them, they're not going to want to talk to do business with us because we're rivals. So what do? We didn't talk to them. We just went to the bank, paid the release clause, and then talked to the player. And then boom, simple. You understand what I mean? So at the end of the day, in situations like this, when you have release clauses, you have to make your intentions quite clear, not just to your fans, but also to the rest of the league. Because if you're seeing if you're supposed to be challenging for the league next season, or you're supposed to be one of the best teams in Europe next season, look at what City and Liverpool are doing and say, listen, we can't just sit here. Go get Gyökeres and be like, well, Arsenal, Liverpool got Bert, these guys have Turkey, we got Gyökeres. We got Nico Williams. We got this guy. We got that guy. We are not stopping. If you got
Omar, listen to this, yeah. Omar, listen to this. Not only are we not getting the targets over the line, I've heard now, yeah, certain reports, yeah, saying that we are likely to get the Sesko deal done within this month. And if we don't get the Sesko deal done, we're going in for £38 million Vlahovic, bro, from Juventus.
Are you serious?
As a second option. Devante, what were you? Huh?
Are you serious? Vlahovic again? Oh my lord, bro!
It's a market opportunity, bro.
This is like
38 million, bro. Market
no, bro. This is like Chris Brown and Carucci. Bro. Like Vlahovic. Are we still chasing Vlahovic, bro? Arsenal cuck FC for Vlahovic.
That's what some of the reports out there saying.
Nah, bro. Vlahovic, first of all, he's not even that good. Second of all, why are we still keeping like how many times have he rejected us? I think three times already. Vlahovic rejected Arsenal like 3 times. Whatever, man. I'm just sick of this club, bro. Like Sesko, first of all, Sesko's their top priority. And if they cannot get Sesko, they go 38 mil for Vlahovic. Meanwhile, there are tons of other strikers that are decent. Strasbourg Steve, you need to ask him about Emmanuel Emeja. He's actually somebody that I rate in terms of like talent over a Sesko and a Vlahovic combined. So if you want the talent that at least is promising, get an Emeja. But Sesko, everybody that's seen the Euros, that has not watched the Bundesliga, that has seen him at the Euros with Slovenia, he is ass. He is not worth 90 million. If you pay 90 million for that, you're stupid as fuck. Then you should just retire as a football club because you're paying 90 million. Which actually is your second highest club record fee for somebody, for a Sesko, not Gyökeres, not a proven striker. No, you're buying it for a talent. Well, I don't know what it is, man. Like, just buy Gyökeres.
So 90 million for Sesko, right? Is that what I'm here? So let me understand this. Maybe my knowledge is slow, but I swear to God, what's his name? Sporting's president literally said he will accept anything around 80 million. So you're willing to spend 90 million on Sesko when you can get Gyökeres, who's a better striker, for 80?
Gyökeres is even less. I think it's like 60 million. 60 million or something like that.
80. That's what the Sporting president said. 80 million. He said 80 million, and he would take, and he would sell it.
Might as well get it. They don't want it because we all know why. If he gets Sesko, it's another excuse to say, "Oh yeah, but it's a phase. He needs time." Gyökeres is proven. He's a proven goal scorer. If he get a proven goal scorer, that means win now. But they don't want to do that. We all know why they want Sesko. We all know why. They still want to do another phase.
Nah, facts. I can't lie. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And they're going to sell it, yeah? You already see the way they're trying to sell Sesko. Yeah, but he's one for the future. You get more value out of the player. All right, then. Because that worked out with Nketiah, didn't it? But anyway, now they're going to try and say, 38 million market opportunity for Vlahovic. Bro, he had 10 goals last season for Juventus. 10 goals. 10 goals in 29 appearances. This is crazy, man. This is crazy, but maybe Arteta can unlock him, innit? That would be the narrative, bro. Maybe Arteta can unlock him, but we're still seeing this news surrounding Rodrigo. Apparently, he's unhappy at Real Madrid, and apparently, according to what is that? I don't even know. Football 365. So take it with. It's up to you how you want to take this news, but apparently we put down 140, 150. We can get Rodrigo. Listen, it's I just don't understand in what world Rodrigo wants to leave Real Madrid come to Arsenal. It's not even like he's not getting game time. He's a starter for them. You know what I'm saying? He knows he's going to be winning major honors there. So, I don't really get it, bro. Like, and if anyone's going to say, do you know what? Oh, no, so these rumors, they're nonsense. What? Do you know what? There's good PR and there's bad PR. Why don't we ever get any good PR? Why don't we get any good PR around this club? Why don't we hear, here we go. It's over the line. It's done, dusted. The player's in for the medical, boom. You know what I'm saying? We've got this player or that player. Why we keep getting these rumors? We don't know what midfielder we want. We don't know what winger we want. We don't know what striker we want. Please tell me what is it? Do you know what I'm saying?
Arsenal are just like, for 21 years, they've been lowballing the transfer window. Well, let me not say that. I will say the Wenger's last few years, they have been lowballing the transfer window, and it's still been going on that they're lowballing the transfer window and how important it is to get certain players. They're gonna, Omar. Sorry, Omar, you distracted me, man. You shaking like you got Parkinson's or something. But yeah, man. Like what I'm trying to say is Arsenal lowball the transfer window. Every year we've seen, apart from Ozil and Alexis Sanchez, that they're not getting world-class players or at least world-class talent. Those two are the only two that come in mind for the last 21 years that I've seen Arsenal get over the line and say, yeah, those are the players. Say what you want about how they were at Arsenal, because only Alexis Sanchez was really like, wow. Ozil was, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same old thing with Arsenal. It's just lowballing. It's lowballing. Look, because they don't want to spend the money, or they're gonna make excuses like, we're in the phase, we're in the project. Oh, it's a youth project or whatever. It's so many excuses with this club, and that's why they're not gonna win anything anytime soon. You see Liverpool, you see City, they're proactive. They're proactive. Arsenal are reactive. They're just looking at other clubs and say, okay, let's test the waters. Oh no, I actually don't want to test the waters. No, I can't swim. Don't. If you cannot swim, then might as well just like stay on the sideline. Stay in the sideline. Don't compete with the big boys.
Apparently, yeah, I saw. There's this article saying that apparently we're looking at Brahim Diaz, but I just saw Romano just say that he's going to sign a new contract, that he wants to stay. Yeah, I mean, so bro, it's just all crazy, bro. Like, apparently now we're not going for Rodrigo, we're going for Brahim Diaz, but Brahim Diaz is about to sign a contract. It's like it's just
he's decent, but I don't think it's going to come to Arsenal. Man.
It's just so like this club, yeah, keeping up with the transfer news is actually a chore. It's a chore to keep up with the transfer window when it comes to Arsenal, because it's never fun, bro. It's never fun. And don't get twisted. Even if we want to get a Gyökeres, I bet you any money we don't get the other targets that we need. And that's why you can't even when we get the right player, we don't build upon it. Like, there's so many ways of looking at Arsenal in the transfer window. Like, when we got Ozil and Alexis Sanchez, we didn't go out and get the striker we need. We didn't go out and rebuild the defense like we need. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we just relied on them two. Like, we've been doing this where we just, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. They move so slow, and they love to drag out a transfer window, a transfer that if we do get a player that I want, I can't celebrate. Because within my celebration, this club will start going, oh, okay, well, they're happy with Gyökeres. We don't need anything else. We don't need anything else. It's done now. We can stretch this transfer. And that's why I'm always so pessimistic with this club, because they're never prepared. They never go beyond what we need. We're always leaving a window saying, what if we went in for this player? I'm just tired of it, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, I'm just sick and tired of it, you know. And then the way that they quickly move off of targets that we need is what's the most disheartening. And the best way to dead off those rumors is start getting in the players that we need. That is the best way. That ends all this conversation. But this is what we do. Instead of going for Gyökeres or going for flipping Sesko, now we're hearing talks about Vlahovic. You know what I mean? Before it was Cunha and Watkins. It's like we're always going down the pecking order. Instead of getting the player over the line, we just look at, oh, okay, well, we'll go to someone that's not as good. Instead of getting a Rodrigo or an Embuemo, oh, okay, let's look at Garnacho. Let's look at all these guys. Instead of going in and getting the players that we need. It's disheartening, man. It's disheartening. There's nothing about the way we're moving that I can trust that we go and get at least 80% of the business we need. At least 80% of the business that we need. You know, and it's just a joke, man.
You know what the
I just don't see the way that we're moving. I don't understand the thought behind it. It just kind of seems like, who wants money? We'll throw the money at you. If you want to come, that's it. Like, we're not going to go in for specific players that we need. Like, we're just going to inquire. If you're not interested, okay, well, we'll go to the next target and sell a story to the fans, because it's easier to sell a story to the fans than it is getting these deals done. It's easier telling us, oh, Devontae, I'm sorry. You couldn't get Gyökeres, mate. Yeah, because we waited to Barcelona to go in, or Bayern to go in, or whoever, Juventus to go in. Yeah, it's easier to go with an article and say, oh, but he wanted too much, than actually go there and get the deal over the line. This is what this club concentrates on. Protecting their image instead of protecting the history of this club, of at least lifting me Premier League titles, at least. I've kept saying it and I'll continue to say it. We may be nobodies in Europe, but we ain't nobodies in the Premier League. So win me some flipping Premier Leagues, bro. Do you know what I mean? But you, man, don't even want to uphold that. You don't even want to uphold that. You don't want to win the Prem. Because if man say, oh, you got no heritage to win in Europe, okay, but I have Premier League heritage, bro. So why can't we start winning that then? But there's always an excuse. This is what I'm saying. They're more concentrated in justifying the players that are not good enough than getting over the players that we need. So you best believe any player that you want, we ain't going for them. We've already spoken about most of them. Lookman, we've spoken about Conceição, we spoke about Pavlidis, we've spoken about Gyökeres, we've spoken about all these players. We ain't gonna get it done, bro. Yeah, I mean, they're just waiting. What I believe they're gonna do is they're gonna allow enough time to then justify these players. They'll allow enough time so that other teams swoop in for our number one targets, and then they can bring in the others and say, oh, but there's nothing we could do. That was the best. What other players could we get that was available? That's what they're going to say, bro. They're going to let these players not be available to then tell us that the best available players are the bullshit players. That instead of us moving fast in the window, getting Gyökeres, we'll let him go somewhere else and then say, oh, but Sesko was the best that we could do. Sesko was the best that we could do. No, Sesko wasn't the best that you could do. You allowed Sesko to get poached by another player, another team, and now you're going for Sesko. So you're not going to blind me, bro. We've got time to get these players over the line. Gyökeres already said, apparently, what have we done with the news about Gyökeres preferring Arsenal over Man United? Have we done anything?
What? What have you done? What have you done? See, this club. See, this is the thing on your side, right? Everything you said is true, man. Like, I'm gonna be very honest. Whenever like I watch a lot of transfer news when it comes to Arsenal, before the transfer window starts, I always link to like the big names, the names that all the fans want to hear. Oh, we're linked to Zuba-Mendy. Oh, we're linked to Gyökeres. Oh, we're linked to this guy, that guy. To give some kind of level of excitement to the fans. And then once the transfer window starts, all of a sudden you start hearing things like, I'm sorry. These guys, Ateta wants Gyökeres, and he wants to bring in, I don't know, like Nico Williams or one of these guys, right? And in the end, what happens is, one of the key targets, when you, let's say, like you mentioned, you guys are linked to Gyökeres, you're linked to Nico Williams, you're linked to Zuba-Mendy, all of these guys, who are all good names who are going to help your team next season. In the end, you're only going to end up signing one of the two. And then everyone's going to be like, well, you know, there was not enough time in the transfer window to go to the other players. No. Some of these players have buyout clauses. You can just pay the buyout clause and move on. The problem is, I swear to God, sometimes, you know what this business clubs do? They try to insult the fans' intelligence. They think the fans don't know how release clauses and all of these things work. They think that we don't understand. They think that we don't do our time to research these things. Right? So they just assume that they can just throw any crap at us. And then we'll just take it as, oh, yeah, that must be it. And you know what's funny on our side? Whereas there's some people that are aware and awake and understand what is going on, there are always going to be people who are always going to feed into any BS the club throws at them. right? And you're just going to be sitting there in the panel show saying, well, do you remember when they said this, when they said that, when they said that? And then these people will just be like, but the club didn't have time. They feed, they listen to every narrative the club always put that there. And they wonder why the rest of the world, as other fans, are just sitting there just watching this, just laughing with their popcorn, enjoying the content. Because it's like, well, what? You guys believe every BS that the club always throw that to. So guess what? The club will always throw BS every year. Guess what? If you go trophyless next season, there will be another year. We start next year. BS, man. It really is. And for the real fans out there, they're the ones that have to really suffer from this. They're the ones that really have to suffer from this because they're always sitting there like, bro, when is my club actually going to be serious? When is my club actually going to start showing something?
Right? No, they're not, bro. They're not. Because I'm already seeing links about, now we're getting links that Arsenal have got into contact with João Pedro and how he wants to play in London. So, you know what we're going to do? Willian part 2. Oh, he wants to move to London? Doesn't matter if he's good enough or not. Okay, you want to play in London? We'll pay your contract. Come over here. We'll pay for you to come over here. Forget if you're good enough or not. We're just a nice club that, we like Willian to stay in London. We like, João Pedro, he wants to come to London. It's a joke. The Lewis Skelly thing, big up Static, yeah? Absolute facts. They've already dropped here the Gabriel contract, yeah? They're waiting for the Lewis Skelly. That's another one, but that's going to be used for damage control. So when the fan base start panicking, Lewis Skelly's dropped a new bomber. Lewis Skelly dropped a new contract. You know what I mean? The club are moving serious. We're keeping our best assets. Bro, fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out of here with this bullshit, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just bullshit. That's going to be, you know what it is, yeah? That's going to be used for a rainy day. That's what it is. Oh, the contract's probably done. Let's just say the contract's done. They're going to be like, yo, let's keep the Lewis Skelly news and let's continue. When we don't get Gyökeres and we don't get a proper winger, we can use the Lewis Skelly news to kind of, but the team is still believing. Gabriel signed. Lewis Skelly signed. Fuck out of here, man. Lewis Skelly's got plenty of time to ditch us, bro, further down the line. You know what I'm saying? This is his first year in men's football. He's got plenty of time to get out of this club, bro. This is a great platform for him to kick on to actually win something. He's not in a race to get out. Who's really competing with Lewis Skelly, yeah, for the left back position? Nobody. Zinchenko's being sold. Timber's probably starting at right back. Ben White plays better on the right than the left. Why has Skelly got, bro? It's not. Bro, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, obviously, Real Madrid's a big draw, yeah? But, bro, why do I need to leave? He's playing for a club where the fan base are retarded. They're gonna jump on Lewis Skelly forever. Do you know what I'm saying? They'll never say Lewis Skelly out. So, all he will do, yeah, is use the fan base's love against them, yeah? There's going to be nobody playing there because now he's a favourite. And then he's going to be like, bro, when I'm good and ready and I'm in my prime, yeah? Whoo! Real Madrid, Barca. You know what I mean? Barcelona, I'm off. See you lot. You know what I'm saying? My guy's 18, 19, bro. He's not in a rush. Why is he in a rush? Calafiori ain't going to make him hold bench. What? He's not in a rush, Devante, bro.
Not at all.
You get me? So I can understand why he will stay. He'll be like, yo, this is a great place for me to develop my game. Look at Saka. Do you know what I'm saying? And as soon as he gets himself into a Saka position, if he's got any ambition, he'd be like, yo, you man, I'm off, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to win nothing here. Do you get me? They're not going to call out Lewis Skelly's. If he has bad performance, they're not going to call him out. They're going to protect him because he's young, protect him because he comes through the academy. Do you know what I'm saying? And they're not really going to bring anyone to really compete with him. So, do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? He'll be slinging his nuts around like Kenny said, put your nuts on the table. We'll be slinging it. Yeah, what are you man saying? I'm you know what I mean? Trust the process, and it's gonna go with it. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, why is he in a rush? This is a perfect club to build. This is a perfect platform club, yeah, to get yourself in the shopping window for elite clubs. That's what it's going to be. And all these top gooners are going to be loving Lewis Skelly slinging that all around because they're going to be like, yeah, he's one of us. And then as soon as he leaves, he's a snake. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he wants any ambition, he's a snake. You don't have to win anything at Arsenal. What pressure is Saka in to deliver a trophy? None. What pressure is Saliba and Gabriel under to deliver a trophy? None. What pressure is Rice under to deliver a trophy? None. What pressure is Havertz under to actually hold down that spot? None. These players are not under any pressure because this fan base defend all of them, bro. They will defend all of them. Do you know what I'm saying? Odegaard ain't under no pressure. What pressure is he under? This guy has been fit for most of our campaigns, yeah, finishing second. Is he under any pressure? Is anyone talking about him giving away the captain's armband for the fact that he goes missing at the end of every season. No pressure, FC. So Skelly, stay at Arsenal, bro. Get the biggest contract you can, because we see Zinchenko 150, we see Odegaard 220, we see Jesus 260, we see flipping Havertz 280. So get your money up, get your bread up. And when you get good enough, yeah, look at Adebayor, look at Van Persie, look at Nasri, look at Fabregas, look at all these, man. Go win trophies. When you're good enough, go win trophies, bro. Go win trophies. Yeah, because you know what? Do you know where you're rectified and you're justified? When we look back, and you've gone on to win all these things, and we look back and what's Arsenal won? Nothing. The fan base are just salty because the facts speak for themselves. Those players were left to go and win major honors.
That's what it is. That's what Arsenal is, just like I said, a springboard for players like Louis Skelly, Nwaneri, and even Saka to like build themselves like a reputation of, okay, yeah, well, they're legit players, and then move on to greener pastures. I've said this so many times. Don't be surprised that after next season, if Arsenal don't win anything once again, Saka and Saliba are the first ones to look out the window and say, City, maybe, Liverpool, maybe, Real Madrid, maybe, Barca, maybe, or PSG, because PSG just won their first ever Champions League. Like PSG are now a serious club. They're serious now. They're not a joke anymore. PSG are serious now. So they might look at PSG or Bayern. They're going to look for those type of clubs. If Arsenal is not, serious once again, if it's another phase, it's another youth project, or whatever it is. And then in a few years, same goes for MLS and Nwaneri. I've been vouching for Nwaneri to come to Ajax because he barely getting minutes anyway. He barely getting minutes when Odegaard has been slacking all season and Saka has been injured.
He's become a better player. Like he would get game time, right? And here's the thing, we said this. I remember, was it last year when we were doing our earlier shows together, right? When Ethan was starting to do the game time, and I told you, this kid is the real deal.
Yeah.
If this kid was a Barca, he would have played over 30 games a season. I'm not even kidding. Like we're giving players like Yamal opportunities. We're giving Gavi opportunities. We're giving Fermin Lopez opportunities. I think even 1 year is more talented than a lot of the players, apart from like a Yamal. I think 1 year they have more talent than a player like a Gavi. I think he's got more talent than a player like a So those guys could get game time. Even 1 year they could certainly have game time if he was at Barcelona. 100%. Right? But you just mentioned it. At the end of the day, it's the same thing every single year. And this is the thing on side. Its history is going to repeat itself. Do not ever get it twisted. Right? Football is about winning. And a lot of these deluded, backhanded Arsenal fans, they're going to get a reality check of a lifetime. Because eventually, all you guys have to do is go trophies next season, and one of your stars is gone. They are gone. And I think it's going to be Saliba. If you don't win anything next season, Real Madrid are coming in for Saliba. And if they're coming for him, bro, there is going to be no hesitation from Saliba at that point. Because he's going to be like, bro, I've given you all 3 seasons of consistency, and you guys have got nothing home. I'm sorry. Every year it's the same BS.
Bro, do you know what I was looking at? Do you know what I was looking at? Yeah. I went to look at when today I saw the documentary, because obviously it's before I was born. It was 12 years before I was born when Aston Villa won the Champions League, yeah. And I went to see how they won, because they won the league title the year before they won the European title. And the season that they won the league, yeah, Aston Villa, and remember the 80s, dominated by Liverpool. They won the title using 14 players only the whole season. 14 players, they won the league. Do you know what they did the next year? The manager had a falling out with Aston Villa's board, yeah? Halfway through the season, they lose the manager that won them the league title. The assistant manager takes over. They get to the final against Bayern Munich, who were the favourites, obviously, to win that. The first season, yeah, that they were in the Champions League, they get to the final. 10 minutes into the game, their number one goalkeeper injured. They bring on a goalkeeper that would have been his second appearance ever for the club. Second appearance, Puts in a master show, blocks so many strikes from Bayern Munich. They win 1-0. assistant manager that took over halfway through the season. Their best goalkeeper gets injured. They use their backup goalkeeper that only had 2 appearances. Yeah. And they win the European title. They were underdogs in that final. They were not favorites. How did they do it? How did they do it? Please tell me how an assistant takes over the job halfway through the season and is able to lift them a Champions League. And these kind of things in football, yeah, show you that, bro, I don't want to hear nothing about takes time, nothing about nothing, bro. They were the underdogs. Their goalkeeper got fired. Their manager that won them a trophy, a major trophy, is fired. And they go with the assistant and they still fucking win a major honor, bro. Why was Aston Villa able to do that? Why? Because if that was Arsenal, we can't compete with Bayern. We've just lost Super Duper Mick, the best manager we've ever known. The goalkeeper goes down, so we'd be relying on Neto. Do you know what I'm saying? What are we doing? What are we doing? This fan base would be ready with the excuses. And Villa deliver 1-0. Boom. Lift the European title. Lift the European title. Why is that team remembered? Why is that team remembered? Because of what they won. So why do we have so many examples of this? Clough going to Nottingham Forest, a team that were in the Championship, take them out of the Championship, get them to the Premier League, and is able to win back-to-back Champions Leagues in the era of the all-dominating Liverpool. How is this possible? And people tell me our football's changed. Fuck all of that. They were still the underdogs, bro. That's like Leeds, yeah, coming up here, winning the Champions League back-to-back, or Sunderland coming up here and winning the Champions League nowadays, bro. The money difference is still relative, bro. It's still relative. It's still relative. Financially, they still can't compete with the big boys the same way that flipping Nottingham Forest couldn't, or Aston Villa couldn't. They couldn't spend the money that the big boys would spend. How did they win major honors like this?
No, sir, think about this 1 second. You're going all the way back, but think about this 1 second, right? When the season started, right? Ask anybody, where do you think Barcelona on the flick in his first season would have finished? After you just saw them the season before go trophyless, right? They've just started their manager. They barely have a squad, right? And they were embarrassed in the Champions League the season before. They were knocked out in the first round of the Copa del Rey, and they were nowhere near the title race against Real Madrid, against a Madrid team who have just won the league and the Champions League and have just signed Kylian Mbappe, right? Imagine telling someone that this manager who only had 1 signing when he needed over 4 to 5 signings in his whole team, that he only had to rely on a 16-year-old at the time, a bunch of academy players with over 20% of his squad all injured and long-term injuries. This is like, we're talking like 3, 4, 5, 6 months of injury, right? Tell them that at the end of the season, that this Barcelona team would have won a domestic treble. They would have won everything in Spain and would have been 90 seconds away from a Champions League final. This same Barca team that did nothing last season. I want you to really, really, really deep that, bro. That's like, you know what? Funny enough, right? It's like if Flick took over Arsenal, bro. It's like if Flick took over Arsenal next season, right? And then next season, with the same squad, with no signings. Let's say you guys sign 1 player. Let's say you go and sign, I don't know, maybe like a Gyökeres. Just 1 player, right? Right? And then you go into the season and you win everything with just 1 player signed. Do you understand what I mean? This is the levels that we're talking about here, bro. And here's the thing, bro. You just mentioned it. Great managers always find a way, bro. You understand what I mean, right? This whole excuse, here's the thing, all this project talk, for a club of Arsenal's level to be sitting here talking about projects, it's absolutely ridiculous. Because projects are usually known to be for clubs who don't really achieve much at all. They're not big clubs, and their aspirations is to be known. It's like PSG's project, right? PSG, when the Qatari owners took over PSG was not a big club. No one was looking at PSG thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be the next big thing. No, that was a project. City was a project. You understand what I mean, right? Those clubs were nothing, and the project was, we are going to take this team to the echelons of European football, right? A club like Arsenal have the resume, they have the name, they have the pull.
Yeah, but those projects change though. That's the thing, Omar. They saw what wasn't working and they adapted. That's the difference, bro. PSG saw this Galactical thing. They're like, yeah, but we're not. That approach is not winning us the big trophy that we want. So what do? Get somebody that works well, building a squad and a cohesive team, and building players that know how to perform and that, in their positions.
And no, sir, that's what I was trying to get.
We keep repeating the same old shit.
So
this
project
project is no different than flipping the English code.
No, sir. Let me tell you something, bro. That's the point I was trying to get to when it comes to projects. You see, when it comes to project, right? You have a philosophy, you have a style of what you exactly you're trying to go for. However, this is the thing, bro. When you hire a manager and the manager is not doing what the project is supposed to be getting, you get it in the manager. When City had this Qatari owners, guess what? Then they have what's his name? Mark Hughes in charge, right? Then they went from Mark Hughes to Mancini. Then from Mancini won them the league. Guess what? When he won the following season trophyless, they got rid of him, brought in Pellegrini. Then they took Pellegrini. Then they brought in Pep because he was the guy. He was the best manager in the world. So they were like, we are now safe with a manager like this. You guys sitting like over the line on this man for 5 years. You are big Arsenal, and you're sitting here talking about a project, bro. Projects don't last half a decade. How do you go half a decade without winning one single trophy and still say we're in a project? Like, bro, this is the level of stupidity we're listening to here, guys. Because let me remind you of something. When this project of Arsenal started, Barcelona were not even broke. Let me remind you, this was 2019. This is before we had financial issues and everything. We were actually one of the top dogs in Europe when your project started. Since then, Northside, right? We've lost our greatest player of all time. We are over £1 billion in debt. We had to basically get rid of all of our best players because we couldn't afford them, right? And we had to rely on our youngsters. And still, we went from being a team on the decline to rising up to one of the best teams in Europe in the past 5 years, while you guys are still trusting the process. When you really think about it that way, you just start thinking, bro, how does a club like Barcelona go from looking like they're about to decline to rising up, and we're still stuck here? We're still stuck here, bro. We're still here while this team has gone from under us to going above us.
Yeah, because your club doesn't operate. They tell you over there, Barcelona, bring me solutions, don't bring me excuses. Arsenal, don't bring me solutions. We need more excuses. That's the difference, man. But listen, big up to the both of you guys, because I do have to wrap up. I do have to be gone by 7. It'll be a short show today. Apologies for that. But Devante, man, shut your thing up, man.
Yeah, man. Ain't got much going on lately, but I've been listening to some music again. I have some reviews from Lil Wayne's Carter 6. Listen, man, that's one of the worst albums I've ever heard in my life, bro. That album is horrible. So anybody interested into like have some laugh, have some hilarious content, go check out my Carter 6 review. It's doing big numbers for the channel. For the of course, I'm still a small channel, but doing big numbers. So thank you all. I appreciate it. I'm humbled. So subscribe, man. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers for the year. And so, yeah, man. Enjoying the off season. That's what we're doing.
Now I hear that, man. Make sure you're subscribing to Devante. Link is in the title. So is Omar as well. Make sure you're subscribing to both. Omar, what you got coming up, bro, on the channel?
Yeah, man. Listen, Omar BYT doing a lot of transfer news recently on the channel. I recently talked about Nico Williams, potential move to Barca. I talked about what's his name, Ter Stegen, who looks like he might be going to Galatasaray. Yes. God, I hope it happens, man.
Yes.
Right? But yeah, at the end of the day, we're going to be doing more transfer news, transfer Barca news roundups, Footballers FC Premier League show every single Thursday, FCB show. I got a lot of shows that we're going to be doing following week. And also, guys, I will be doing a Club World Cup game on Wednesday. Real Madrid versus Al Hilal. Hit along. We need that Al Hilal win, man. Seriously. If Real Madrid lose to Al Hilal, do you understand Northside? The shamelessness we're going to see from Zier. I don't think we've ever seen a level of shamelessness that we will see if this brother's hometown club beats Real Madrid. Nah, man, I'm telling you right now. But yeah, listen, big up to you guys, man. Big up to you guys. Hey, listen, And also note that there was one thing you said earlier about fans, right? This is a point I actually forgot to mention. Do you know that I've been hearing a lot of Barca fans trying to make the same excuses for Deco as well? And I've been so fair. I'm like, don't deny that shit with me. He offered these players a new contract. Because they were telling me, Omar, you keep criticizing Deco but look at the good things he's done. I'm like, what the good things has he done? They said, but he's giving the players new contracts. I'm like, what? Man, get out of here. But yeah, big up, man.
No, I hear that, man. I hear that. Listen, big up to the both of you. Big up to everyone that's locked in. We're going to redirect to Carefree Lewis, Northside Raid on the way in. And I'm out, man. Love, 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 love.